Can I ask you a question about that song?
You can ask me any questions you want.
Right, sit here.
This is a good man.
Was there anybody in particular you wrote the song about?
You know, it's hard to tell because the lady who was my second wife is somebody it was kind of a roller coaster sort of relationship, and I loved her very much, and I think she loved me too. We were going through some difficult things there, and it's a possibility that she inspired it. I can't say for sure. I don't have an epiphany on that, you know. I mean, it may have been her. But Curly Putman said I brought this idea to him, and where it came from, I'm not quite sure.
Who actually wrote the lyrics? Who wrote the melody, or did you write them both together?
No, we both.
Yeah.
That's typical for country and for rock and roll. Right? I mean, you people who write your standard like the Broadway kind of thing. You have Rodgers and Hammerstein. You have one who wrote the lyrics and one who Bacharach and David. One wrote the lyrics, one who wrote the melody. But in country music, I think more often than not you'll have a couple of guys to get together, and then both of them will contribute to the melody, and both of them will contribute to the words too. And that's the way that we wrote this one.
Yeah. You wrote a lot of songs for George Jones and Tammy. As you know, one of Tammy's songs, D-I-V-O-R-C, was a big hit in Britain. And you told me an interesting story beforehand, what Curly added to that song. Perhaps you could tell the people.
He did. I had written the song, and nobody was recording it, and I couldn't understand. I said, well, why is nobody recording that? And Curly says, well, he said, just this one little area there around the title line, he said, it's a sad song, and the way you have it, it sounds kind of, well, I don't know, I think it sounded kind of like a soap commercial. Here's what I had. I had, oh, I wish that we could stop this D-I-V. And I said, well, what would you do, Curly? And he said, and Curly's just this real mournful, soulful singer, and he said, well, wish that we could stop this D-I-V. I said, put that on tape, let's do it that way. And he said, I didn't do much, I don't deserve. I said, well, you made it good enough that we got it recorded, so I think you ought to be a co-writer on it. So that's how that came about.
Very interesting. You know, it was a big hit in Britain, as you know, as well as over here and several other places.
Yeah, a comedian named Billy Connolly, who's sort of like the British version of Steve Martin, I'd say, did a comedy version of this, and it was bigger than the Tammy Wynette version of it. So sold 1.5 million copies.
So you've got good royalties twice around then.
And this man was responsible for Billy Connolly recording that comedy version of it.
Quite by accident.
And I didn't know it until today. I think I owe him a standing ovation for Tony Byworth. Come on.
I wish you would tell that story.
Well, it's quite by accident, as I said to Bobby earlier. When D-I-V-O-R-C came out, I did some work with Polydor Records, which was MGM in London, and Ben Calder did a parody of the song, and I was trying to get Polydor to release it, and Billy Connolly was in the building, heard it. He said, I'll do that, I'll do my own version. So that's how it happened, quite by accident.
That's amazing, isn't it? I almost feel like I owe you a finder's fee for that.
It probably takes.
No, it was my pleasure.
Now, did you get Bobby to sign this book that Bobby has written?
But I was going to mention this book.
Yes, if you hold it up there.
This is, in case you don't know, Bobby wrote a very good book about his early days in Florida. When did that come out?
2007. This is about growing up in a little rural area in central. It's sort of turned into sort of where Tampa meets Orlando now. But back when I was growing up, it was very rural. It was all citrus. My father was a citrus grower. It was a little Mayberry-like town, and my father was the mayor, city manager, and municipal judge all at the same time. It's sort of like Mayberry. But I just finished a new one. It's called Hollywood, Tennessee, and I figured that's the one that's going to get me run out of town.
That's what I was going to ask you. I heard you did a new one. When's that coming out?
I just turned it into the publisher this week.
Okay. We wish you good luck with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.